Hello and welcome to Mountain Patriot Homestead. I am inside right now where it is warm. I've got me something warm to drink, and I thought that it would be a good time to get with y'all, just sit and visit for a few minutes about a couple of topics. It is going to be a main topic of security. And I know when we're here on the homestead, we think of security. A lot of times the first thing that comes to mind when people think of security is physical security, such as defensive security type things. And just today I wanted to talk about a couple of other types of security. First of all, I have been noticing recently, and I know this has been going on as long as there has been internet, and prior to internet it was just in another form, but lately I have been noticing more and more scams that are popping up trying to part you from your money, from your identity, from anything that may be sacred to you. And by sacred, I don't mean spiritually sacred. I just mean, you had to spend time and effort making your money, and there's always somebody willing to help you part from that. And just for example, a few days ago, I had spoken to a woman and her husband who were talking. They were wanting to make a report of someone that was posing online as a real estate agent, and the same scam that we hear over and over again of, all right, well, in order to make sure that your property is going to be held for you, we need a deposit. Okay, that's, a lot of times real estate transactions, they need some type of good faith deposit. I get that. But the thing that should make bells and whistles and any type of thing go off, alarm system go off in your head, should be when they say that you need to go buy some type of gift card or some type of card to send them money on. Now, if anybody out there is a real estate agent and can correct me on this, please let me know. But any transactions that I have ever done for anything, real estate or not, did not require me to go buy a gift card or some type of card with money on it and send it to that person. I have never had to buy anything that way or procure anything that way, put a deposit on anything that way. So, number one, if they are asking for a payment by some means that does not seem normal, stop, step back, and use your due diligence. Also, buying things sight unseen. Now, I know we're a society of ordering things online. Most of us do it. I do it. I order things from Amazon, Walmart, stuff like that all the time. However, when you start getting into things that are not, I don't want to say brands, but if you start getting into deals with people that you don't know, or that you can't go look at the stuff, especially things like real estate, cars, big ticket items. Excuse me for just a second. Sorry for that interruption, but if you are buying something, again, use your due diligence, check it over. And if it's, like I said, if it's a large ticket item, car, house, anything, a washing machine, I want to be able to examine it before I spend a lot of money on it. You know, our money don't come easy, and so just turning it over to other people, you know, that are thieves. That's all they are. There's no polite way to put it. They're a thief. Those kind of people just make me angry, because there's too many of you working people out there that are having to put a lot of effort into getting your money for somebody else to just steal it from you. Another thing, and my oldest sent me a example last night of an email, and I've seen them emails, text, all different sorts of social media communications that is scareware. You've probably seen this, if you use your email, you probably see these pop up from time to time of your Amazon account is going to be locked due to whatever, and if you don't click on this link now to get this corrected, you're not going to be able to use your account. Or your Visa card is going to be locked. Click on this. Your Facebook account is going to be deleted if you don't click on this link. That is scareware. They are trying to scare you into clicking on a link that all it's going to do is either put malware on your computer devices and perhaps get into your contact list and put malware into all your friends' stuff, or it could be phishing for information, and phishing is not just the F-I-S-H, but P-H-I-S-H, phishing. That's a real term, where they are trying to lure you into giving information, personal information, that they can then use to steal your identity. I get them. I'll get emails about your What's-It account has been locked. Well, first of all, I don't even have whatever this account is they're talking about. So, you know, okay, well, good try, but no cigar. Do not respond to any of those type of communications. If something is really going to be locked, blocked, whatever, you'll know about it soon enough when it really is. And they're not going to have you click on a link to keep that from happening. YouTube, if I do the wrong thing on YouTube, they'll let me know. And it's not going to come in an email from Indonesia saying your YouTube account's going to be blocked because you violated something. No, YouTube will come from YouTube, and it will very pointedly explain to me, here's what's going to happen. And they're not going to have me click on a link or any of that sort of thing. And if you're ever in doubt, look up your own phone numbers. If say it's a Visa card or MasterCard or something like that they're saying that you're going to be locked out of your account, look on the back of your Visa, MasterCard, whatever, and call the customer service number on there. Contact the company directly and say, is this really from you? And another thing, communications that seems to be, it makes the rounds ever so often, especially if you have some type of business, is where it appears, or it can even be among family, where it appears that you're getting an email from someone that you know asking you to send them money, and it's really not from them. So if one of my young'uns needs money and I get one of those weird emails, Mom, I'm in jail, send me money now, well, no. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up the phone and I'm going to call them and say, what? And they're going to go, we don't know what you're talking about. So don't don't be lured, don't be sucked into these traps that so many unscrupulous people are setting for trusting individuals out there. And it's always the people that can afford to lose the money the least. And that's what's heartbreaking. It was like this company, or this couple, that had gotten duped by what they thought was a real estate office, and it was not. And they were out, I think it was like $800. And, you know, these people didn't have a pot or a window. So, you know, they were just trying to find some rental property. And instead, all they did was lost the little bit of money that they had to put down on a rental unit. So, you know, it's very sad that we have people, but we're going to have people like that to the end that are trying to make their money off of making other people miserable. So anyway, that is the first type of security I wanted to talk about. The second type of security I wanted to talk about is food security. Now, you know, you see me in here canning and doing grocery hauls and talking about different things. That's a form of food security. Another form of food security is planting things yourself, the garden. You know, you hear me talk about gardening, which is where I get a lot of the stuff that I can. Well, this year, you know, I don't know how many of my videos that you've watched, but I've said it before that every year, and my husband come up with this phrase, every year my garden is an experiment. Because every year I change things, kind of like my recipes. I change things every year. No fail. Every year I will do things differently than from the year before. Well, this year I've been back there in the pantry and I've been doing a bunch of canning and just kind of taking inventory of what I've got and what I need. And as I looked through my stuff a few days ago, I noticed I have I don't want to say overabundance, I have a large blessing of things like tomatoes, squash, those sorts of things, the type of plants that produce prolifically anyway. And so I realized, wow, I have a lot of this type of stuff. I don't need a lot this year of that type of thing. So I started paying attention more of what do I need to replenish my pantry? What type of plants do I need to plant in order to fill holes in the pantry? Well, one of the things that I noticed, and that I have noticed that purchasing lately, because I just had to get some more, is pumpkin has went up considerably. The prices for the pumpkin that I just ordered was pretty high. And not only do I use it for us in recipes, but I use it for Pepper, our lab, because she has a allergy that it'll come around ever so often, and it bothers her ears and her gut health and that sort of thing. So the vet suggested adding pumpkin to her diet. So I try at least once a day to give her some pumpkin, but again, that's expensive. I've used up all the pumpkin that I had, and I'm having to buy pumpkin, so that's expensive. So this year I plan on planting a large pumpkin crop because I want to be able to put up all my own pumpkin for the next year or two. I usually try to make sure that I stay 2 years ahead, that I have at least 2 years of produce, you know. So if I plant this year and it really doesn't do any good, but I still have enough on the shelf to carry me over to the next year, hopefully the next year I'll do good. So This year, I'm going to plant a large pumpkin crop and hopefully have a good result from it. I've had good results from pumpkins in the past, and this year I'm going to, I got some seeds in the other day, and I don't know if you've ever grown these or not. I don't know if you can see because of the light. Let me see if I can get it just right. It is a fairy tale pumpkin, and I've grown these before. These are beautiful pumpkins. Just like the name implies, it's almost like the pumpkin off of Cinderella. It is all, it's got orange tones to it, but it's also a bronzy kind of color, but it's got the deep lobes, kind of squatty, just a beautiful pumpkin, and it gets quite large. And I think, let me see what it says, 15 pounds. So it's a pretty good sized pumpkin, and the texture of the flesh, the flesh is a bright orange, beautiful inside, and the texture of the flesh is smooth and it's sweet, and the seeds in it are wonderful for making pumpkin seed, pumpkin seeds to snack on. And the pumpkin that I grew before, the pumpkins for this fairy tale, I just really loved. And I don't know what I done with my seeds. I saved a bunch of seeds. I'll probably find them now that I've went and bought some more, but for some reason I couldn't find my fairy tale pumpkin seeds, and so I ordered some more. But anyway, I'm gonna plant a large crop of pumpkin. And another thing that I'm going to plant a large crop of is cowhorn peppers. Now, I don't know if you like hot peppers, but like the chili flakes, the red pepper chili flakes, these cowhorn peppers make the best chili flakes. I love them, and I have used up the last of mine, and it's like, no. So I am going to plant a big batch of those this year. I don't think I'm going to plant jalapenos or Tabascos. I've still got a bunch of them from last year. I had a really good crop of those last year. And so I am going to plant a bunch of cowhorn peppers because I can dehydrate those and use them in all my dishes that call for red pepper, or I could even powder them up and make cayenne, which is, you make cayenne from cayenne peppers, I know, but I can use this in place of the cayenne pepper once it's powdered up. But really good peppers. They're long peppers, and the ones that I grew before were like 8-10 inches long, and they look like a cow horn. They'll curl like a cow horn. Beautiful bright red peppers. And so I'm gonna grow, hopefully I'll grow a lot of pumpkins and a lot of peppers this year. And of course I'll put out some tomato plants because I like fresh tomatoes. I can't stand store-bought tomatoes, so I'll have fresh tomatoes, and just I'll fill in with the rest of the stuff. But this is the main crops that I want to focus on this year. And of course my herb garden, I always have my herb garden going. But your food security, and if you grow medicinals, that's also, health security. So growing your own stuff is a form of security. So that's just what I wanted to talk to you about today, is a little bit about cybersecurity and not being duped by these people that are trying to part you from your money, and being able to plant and grow for some of your own food security. That is all I have for you today. I'm going to finish off my cup of coffee before it gets cold, and I am going to go get started on supper. I hope y'all have a wonderful evening. Hope you come back again. Love y'all. Mountain Patriot Homestead, signing out.